top hats on because I ordered new top hats for my injectors because I fixed that misfire in my last video. I figured out what it was. So I went over to my buddy's house and we did a lot of diagnosing, and finally the last thing we tried was his 2000cc injectors. And after we tried his injectors, I went around the block, no misfire at all. So then we tuned it up a little bit and I started driving around, and it's been ripping ever since I put his injectors on. So we took apart my injectors. The injectors were cleaned, but the top hats were like clogged, like you couldn't blow air through them. So it makes sense why I was having a misfire, because not enough fuel was getting through. So I got these new top hats, gonna swap my injectors back onto the car and return his before I have surgery. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. And then might also replace an axle seal on the MR2 because the transmission has been leaking pretty much ever since I got it. And it's probably finally time to stop being lazy and fix it, so I stopped leaking everywhere. So here we go. All right, so I got my injectors installed again, no leaks. It's running good. So yeah, this fixed it. I'm good to go. Hopefully this thing's ready to rip. So I have my buddy's old injectors up here. I'm gonna bag up, give back to him. But after that, time to go with the MR2 and fix that thing. All right, so I'm back with the MR2 and I'm going to try to replace the axle seal. I'm not sure if this is the right part. Honestly, I didn't do any Googling. I just went to O'Reilly's and picked it up. And I haven't watched any videos on how to do this yet. So this is gonna be an adventure. Psych, the axle nut is a size 30. I only have a 32 or a 27, so I'm gonna put this wheel back on, go on, grab 30, grab a couple of the tools that I think I might need, come back, start again. Yay! All right, so I went to 3 different stores just to find this deep 30 mil. But it does fit, so we can continue the process. All right, so far I've taken this lower control arm off, this tie rod right here off, and then these 2 bolts for the coilover or whatever it is, and obviously the axle nut. So I think this side's about ready to pop off, and then I'll be able to pop off the other side, replace the seal, and then put everything back the same way I found it. Just as I said, this all came off. I was able to get this side off, so now I'm gonna take a pry bar, something, and wedge on there, pop her out. So I've been trying to pry this off for like a good 15 minutes. No matter what I do, it's not coming off. So it's time to start Googling, see if I'm doing something wrong. I forgot to show you guys taking it all the way off, putting the axle seal in, putting it back in. But I did it, so now I'm in the process of putting it back together. I'm not gonna lie, I mean, coming from the Honda world, this freaking sucked, man. Terrible design. I mean, what's with the like 6 bolts going around to make the stub come out? I don't know. It was freaking not cool at all. So this thing needs a case swap already, because fuck, I'd rather just work on a Honda. So time to put the rest of it back together, and I need to go get some trans fluid because it leaked a lot. got everything put together except for the tire, of course. And let me tell you, that freaking sucked, man. It was so hard to put everything together. I mean, I have a time lapse I'm putting in the video, and I'm not even putting the whole time lapse in because it took me that freaking long. These MR2s are not like the simple Hondas, man. But you know what? It will be eventually. I'm also going to diagnose, or try to diagnose, a little noise I have. It's like only at idle, and as soon as it's, you know, you give it some RPM, it goes away. I thought it was the belt, but I don't think it is. I don't know. I'll update you guys once I figure it out, or is what it is, and maybe I'll take a video of it first, because it drives me absolutely crazy driving this car. It's always there. Sometimes it doesn't show up. I'll start the car and run it for a day, and that day the noise never comes up. But the next day the noise is there and it doesn't go away. So I'm not sure what it is, but I'll figure it out. Alright, so I just replaced this piece of the door handle with a brand new OEM one. They still make them from factory. So that was pretty cool. Fixed that issue. And then I came over to my passenger side, and since I bought the car, my sun visor always drooped down like this, because this right here was broke, but I bought a new one and replaced it, so now it doesn't droop. It's nice and steady, which is sweet. So then I decided I'm gonna look for the noise, because what else do I have to do? I did pretty much everything I want to do today. So I got me a handy dandy stethoscope, and now it's not making the noise. And the only thing I've changed is those axles, like you guys saw, and I took off a little plate. So like I said earlier, it comes and goes, and when it's not coming, I can't figure it out. I mean, it's quiet as can be. No noise. So I'm gonna go give it a drive and see if the noise will pop up. Maybe give it a car wash. We'll see.